So I was born in Boca Raton, Florida on November 4th, 1998, but raised on the island of New Providence in the Bahamas. When I was very young, my household consisted of just me and my two parents, who sent me to a school named Reality as my first preschool, before they sent me to the Early Learning Center of one of the top schools in the country, Queens College. My oldest memories as a child date as far back to when I was just 3 years old and would spend days sleeping over by my god sister's home, swimming in the pool, and discovering and learning new things about life and myself. I made lots of friends when I was still around kindergarten age, and I was labeled as talkative by my teachers by the time I was in grade 1. Some of these friends I made are people who I'm still friends with to this day, like my cousins and others. We got into trouble often, but we also got out of trouble often. My cousin and I once had to jump over a fire that we were responsible for creating on the surrounding of our grandparents' backyard patio. Besides just getting into trouble, I had lots of hobbies as a kid, and I'd often spend my summers by my grandparents' home cultivating those skills. Childhood was an interesting period in my life. Not only did I discover my love of video games, but I also found out that I was talented in multiple sports such as swimming, soccer, and karate, each of which were my favorite at some point. By the time I was in 6th grade, I had dropped karate and swimming as hobbies, and it welcomed 2 new additions to my family, twin siblings. I now had a biological brother and sister. Perhaps the thing I looked forward to the most each summer as a child was my family's annual vacation that we usually traveled to the United States for, more often than not. As much as I loved going away, I always couldn't wait to return home to show off the new stuff I had got. I had almost every single hot video game console that was out or was coming out when I was a kid. Naruto, Pokemon, Wii Sports, NBA 2K, Madden, MLB The Show are just a few names I'd have to mention when thinking of a list of my favorite video games to play at various points during my childhood and teenage years. Fast forward to grade 7, the beginning of high school. Soccer was now my primary sport, however I began to develop a new love, and this time it was for the sport of basketball. I somehow managed to maintain honor roll level grades as my passion for basketball grew, and eventually I was practicing basketball 7 days a week, attending summer camps, and one time I even won a trophy in recognition of my individual performance during camp. Did I also mention that I had 3 consecutive free throws with no time left on the clock in overtime, with my team down by 2 points in order to win a game? This was the kind of performance I needed in order to make it onto my school's high school basketball team the following school year and be a part of an undefeated championship winning team. Impressive, I know. During senior high, I decided to give less of my attention to sports and give more of my focus to my academics. It was also during this time that I really began to develop a taste for hip hop and girls. Kanye was my favorite rapper back then, but nowadays, not so much. Despite my focus on getting good grades, I spent a good portion of my time working on my leadership skills and on extracurricular activities. This didn't stop even when I went to college. I went from being a form captain in 9th grade to being a chess club and credit union member in 10th and 11th grade, and the chairman of my school's beautification committee and a leadership day leader during 12th grade. By the time I was 17, I graduated from Queens College High School, and the following summer I was a youth group member at my church and enrolled in the University of the Bahamas on a full scholarship. Since then, I've lived in multiple places, such as the city of 𝗩𝗶𝗆, Miami, Atlanta, Miami again, and now I'm back to living in New Providence again. Fortunately, I've had time to participate in junk canoe for the first time since my childhood, and also I've been fortunate enough to be a Bahamian youth parliamentarian for the first time.